Hey everybody, 8-Bit Josh here, and here is the walkthrough tour video of Aurora Zoo. This is the very last video I will record around this. If you haven't seen Aurora Zoo yet and you're curious, you want to see like the entire series from start to finish, make sure to check out the entire playlist. There's 26 or 7 episodes. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump in. It's going to be a long one, so grab a snack and a tasty beverage, and let's go. All right, so here we are. I'm in Tegid Cam right now, which, if you don't know, rename any guest or staff Tegid Cam, and it puts you in like a first-person mode, and you can walk around at the kind of the same level that the guests are. But I decided we would start here at the bridge, kind of around the entrance, just to show off the parking lot a little bit, because this was actually the first time in either Planet game, Planet Zoo or Planet Coaster, that I made an actual like parking lot, because I wanted to try to add a little bit of realism to the zoo. So I figured, why not start at the very beginning and make a parking lot? So here we go. If you're a car, you would kind of just go straight and park. The buses, as you can see, buses and drop off only. So we head around this way. There you can see some buses. I grabbed those from the workshop. Those are not mine, but what I did is actually put the guest spawners, there are 2 of them, under each bus. And it kind of gives the illusion a little bit that the guests are kind of getting on and off the buses as they arrive at the zoo. But here is our entrance lodge. And one of the things we wanted to do with Aurora Zoo was kind of give it like a log cabin feel. So a lot of the buildings, the exteriors, have this sort of like rustic log cabin look to them. So we'll go ahead and head inside. And here we go. And all of the buildings in Aurora Zoo do have a detailed interior. Being that it's an Arctic zoo, you know, one of the challenges was that we needed to make sure, there's a little lag there, but make sure that the interiors of buildings were detailed, because we wouldn't really have like, you know, big outdoor plazas or anything of that sort in the zoo. Yeah, here's our little gift shop. This is the Wild Things gift shop, and this was one of the first things we did once we finished the lodge building. And it was pretty fun. It was a lot of fun to like kind of come up with different like souvenir things using scenery pieces. It's definitely, obviously, it's not original kind of concept. Lots of people have made gift shops, but I'm super proud of it. I think it turned out really cool. I love the kind of frames around the posters, and of course we have like the poster racks here as well. But then we head over this way. Here we've got a faux monorail queue. There is a monorail in the zoo. It connects the entire zoo. So wanted to make like a kind of just a fake little area for where people would buy the monorail tickets. We got a little information center over here, and we've got like some park maps that they can buy. Then over here we've got a coffee shop, and the idea behind this was that, you know, maybe this was a later edition, so it's slightly more modern looking than the rest of the lodge. That's why it's kind of, it has like the grays and blacks and things. Kind of looks like a modern coffee shop, I would say. But let's go ahead and head outside. And here is the actual zoo entrance. So that's where the guests pay their tickets. And then we head outside. And right away you can see, so we've got the cheetah building over there. We've got the Bengal Tigers, which was actually the first habitat we added in Aurora Zoo. And then over here we have our monorail building. This also has a little bit of a food court in it as well. A lot of the buildings, whether it's like monorail stations like this or habitats, ooh, got a busted table over there. But a lot of the buildings will also have like some shops and things for the guests, because like I said, because there are no outdoor areas in the zoo, you know, like plazas, food courts, everything is indoors. So A lot of the times the buildings kind of serve a dual purpose. Let's head out over this way, just because this was the first habitat. We'll take a look at this. So this is the Bengal Tigers. And what I really love about this habitat is the way that, like, the habitat itself is tropical themed, but then we've got the glass wall and ceiling in the back where you can see like the snow-covered mountain and trees, and I just think that that difference in the two there is like just really, really cool. And of course, Bengal Tigers are super awesome as well. Head out back this way. And, you know, we did a walkthrough tour on a live stream over on my Twitch channel, which you should definitely head over and give the channel a follow, because we will be starting, or have already started, depending on when you're watching this, our follow-up zoo to Aurora Zoo, which is going to actually be a desert zoo. But during that live stream, we actually went down that way. So I thought for the video, we would go the opposite direction. So we head over this way. And this is one of the only outdoor habitats in the zoo. This is the king penguins, of course. And if you don't know, one of the things with Aurora Zoo is we only, you know, it's the tundra biome. So we only used kind of the like warm biome animals. And it was kind of a challenge to make sure all the animals were like heated well and their welfare was up. And that's why everything is indoors. You know, every habitat is indoors except for the penguins. They were the one exception. When the aquatic pack came out, I was like, well, the penguins were my number 1 requested animal when Aurora Zoo, when Planet Zoo was announced. So when Frontier announced that they were adding them in the aquatic pack, I was like, well, I know we're doing warm biome animals, but we have to add the penguins. So they are the exception. But this whole area is like the bird area of the zoo. And here is the Southern Cassowary Habitat, which I think is really cool. And you can actually see there's the monorail track up there as well. The monorail does go through a handful of the habitats around the zoo. And then here, like I said, here's another kind of like a little guest area, a little mini food court. We've got a bathroom in here as well. I do love the Australia pack. It was a lot of fun to put this habitat together. And oh, there goes the monorail. One of the things we also did, anywhere where the monorail track was like really close or in view of the guests, we did these like kind of custom supports, which I think just looks really cool and really just kind of sells the whole like rustic theme of the zoo. And then here we have the defroster. We have a handful of these throughout the zoo. This is just meant as an area where guests can kind of get out from the cold. We've got like bathroom in here. Each defroster has like a different shop. Sometimes it's food, sometimes it's like a souvenir. But yeah, it's just meant as a place where guests can kind of get out from the cold a little bit if they want to, if they're walking in between habitats. And then here, this big building is actually a double habitat building. So we've got the peafowls and flamingos in here. We'll go ahead and walk in. So this is the flamingo habitat. And I think it looks really cool. It's a lot of fun. One thing when we were building this, we figured out all these, all the greenery on the ground. Those are the planted wood plank pieces. And we found out, even though they are under the like scenery tab or like foliage tab, they do not count against animals like foliage coverage. So I literally cover the entire floor or ground except for the path. And I just thought it turned out really cool. And we can head out over this way. And then we've got like some vending machines. We got some conservation boards. So, you know, it's important for the guests to get their education on. We got a bathroom here as well. And then the guests head up this way. And then this is the Peafowl Habitat. So it's pretty cool, I think. It's just like, it's one big building kind of split into two or kind of three parts, I guess. And oh, he opened up his feathers for us. He's showing off to that lady. Like, check out my feathers. And then this is the exit here. So we've got like a little bridge. You can see there's the monorail again that heads out over that way towards the Primates area of the zoo. And then this giant building here is actually our Ostrich Building. And what I think is pretty cool about this, I mean, besides the fact that that looks pretty sweet, I love making circular buildings in this game because like you can get these like really cool designs and stuff with the pieces. But what's cool about this habitat, or at least what I think is cool about it, is it's like it goes all the way around the habitat. So you've got like a great 360-degree view of the entire habitat, and like you can just look down, and I just think it's pretty cool. And we head out over this way, and again, like I was saying, we've got a little mini food court in here. Occasionally we try to do stuff like add like these kind of implied menus and like menu boards and stuff just to add a little extra detail. Had the billboards come out earlier, we might have made our own like custom menus. Maybe that's something we'll do in our next zoo. So that was the ostriches, and then this is the penguin house. So we kind of saw the outside. Ooh, we've got a lot of litter around here. We kind of saw the outside of the penguin habitat, but there's also an underwater viewing area. So there's a lot of guests down here, so it makes me think hopefully the penguins are swimming around. Let's see. Well, it doesn't look like anyone's swimming around, but you got a really great view of the penguins when they are swimming. Usually when it's dinner time, when the underwater feeders are going, but yeah, so we got a great underwater viewing spot there for the penguins. So I'll head back up. All right, so we're coming out of the penguin habitat here. I did want to show this over here. This is like kind of like our little Christmas shop, little gift shop here. So we've got like the big old Christmas tree. We built this around like Christmas time, so I guess we were just kind of in that mood. We called it Rudy's Gift Shop, you know, like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, that sort of thing. But again, this is like another little gift shop slash kind of coffee house. So we've got coffee over there. We've got like a really cozy fireplace right here. And then we've got some seating and stuff over there. But yeah, I think this is just like it's like a really cool, just cozy little environment in here. You can come in here, you can get yourself a cup of coffee, maybe buy some souvenirs, and then head on back out to the zoo. All right, so we're coming back around. There's the penguin house. Here's another defroster. Like I say, we got a bunch of these throughout the zoo. We've got Looney Balloons in there. And then we'll head around this way. And I really, really love the walk up to this, our conservatory here, kind of our tropical conservatory. When I built this, doing tropical foliage is one of my favorite things to do in the game. And being in an Arctic map, we didn't have the opportunity to do tropical plants other than inside habitats. So this was sort of a way for me to scratch that itch and do some tropical foliage. So we've just got a really nice kind of greenhouse conservatory in here, just loaded with tropical plants. We've got like a little pond here, which I actually put a habitat barrier and then hit it with some rocks. So I actually put some water in there. So yeah, you can kind of just go around. There's like two sides. We kind of will walk around just one of them. You kind of get the idea, but it was a lot of fun to put together. Just kind of load everything up, try to make it look like a conservatory, and I think it turned out pretty well. This is actually on my Steam Workshop, by the way, as is Aurora Zoo. So if you want to check this out in your own game, you can do that as well. The link to my workshop is always in the description below. There are a few other blueprints from this zoo as well. So we head out. We're across the part of the river now, and we're gonna go to the right, because if we go left, that's gonna take us back around. So we've got the red pandas have their own building here. They're kind of like, we didn't really have a spot for them like in any of the other areas of the zoo, so they kind of have their own just standalone building. Again, as you can see, we've got some like guest services with food and drink and bathrooms. And then you can come up here. You can either sit down there. You can come over here and actually watch the red pandas. And there they are. Gotta love the red pandas. But I really like this habitat. It's another one kind of like the ostriches, where it goes all the way around the whole habitat. We also have some like tables and stuff over here, and then nice glass walls so you can kind of see around the zoo a little bit. I just think it's like a really nice little spot. You can see the aquarium across the way there. And we've got this really nice window here. So when the red pandas come to sleep, the guests can watch them without disturbing them too much. So we're heading out of the red panda habitat, and we're going to make a right, because this is going to take us over to Bear Claw Canyon as well as the Primates area. One thing I kind of wish I had designed a little bit better is the only way to get to the Primates area is you kind of have to go through a little bit of Bear Claw Canyon, unless you ride the monorail. But I love this entrance. Kind of reminds me of like a Old West fort almost. I just think it turned out super cool. I love the gates. And then I love this building here is a monorail station, and I love the way it kind of just towers over the cliff there and just overlooks the whole area. This building right here is another blueprint that is on the workshop. So I tell you what we'll do. We'll go over to the Primates area, and then we'll head back and we'll look through Bear Claw Canyon. That's the giant panda dome made by Spring Blossom, a member of our community. Here we've got a little Missy Good donut shop in there. So we head across this way, and we actually go back across the river. Of course, we're on the another part of the river, but there you can see the Aurora Zoo Aquarium. I also really love this bridge we put together. Kind of looks like an old school, like just steel bridge. Some more litter. Probably should have put some trash bins on the bridge. But yeah, so here, this is Aurora Zoo Aquarium. It's a little bit more modern looking than the rest of the zoo. But I think that's okay. And it turned out really cool. So we'll go inside. And I actually switched it to nighttime, because I feel like you get the best experience in the aquarium in nighttime, because in like real life aquariums are they're a little darker, a little dim, so I feel it's just the best way to look at it. But we do have some exhibits in here as well. So we got the red-eyed tree frog and the giant Malaysian leaf insect, and then the best part is our aquariums, which I just found some aquarium footage online, imported them into the game. These are just billboards. It flashes because the video actually is repeating. We got some more over here, as well as a custom sign. And then we've got like the bigger tanks over here, which was just so much fun. I tell you what, this is definitely right here. I said this all the time on our live stream. This is like one of my favorite spots. Just the way these two come together, it almost looks like it just really sells the idea that you're looking at an aquarium. Maybe one day Planet Zoo will actually get like an aquarium DLC. I don't think we will, but you never know. And then up this way we have Nemo's Cafe. Look, like I was talking about, how most buildings have kind of dual purposes. We've got more aquariums there, and then over here we've got a little food court, so guests can get something to eat, something to drink, come over here, sit down. Ooh, oh yeah, look at that. Imagine like eating dinner and just looking at that, seeing that out in the distance. That would be so cool. But yeah, this is a nice little spot to, you know, eat some food, rest up before you head out to the rest of the zoo. But yeah, let's go ahead and we will go check out the Primates area. All right, so we're heading out of the aquarium. We'll go check out the Primates area. This was actually the last area of the zoo that we made. Really like this entrance. I wanted to do like something different that we didn't do in the rest of the zoo, so kind of making like a little tunnel here seemed like a good idea. We also made some custom signs here using the in-game education board images, actually, so kind of let you know which way is which. It kind of makes a big circle around the area, so we'll head to the right to the Probiscus Monkeys. We've got orangutans over here as well. There you go, there's the defroster again. Also really liked, we kind of came up with this idea to add a little bit of tropical plants in the zoo that's not like in a building. So we made like these little mini domes, which I think worked out really well. And then we'll go up here, check out the Probiscus Monkeys. I also really like our little food court in here. I love the bright colors. So over here we have kind of like orange and green. And then over here we've got green and orange. So it's just kind of same colors but flipped, and I think it looks really cool. But yeah, then here is the actual Probiscus monkey habitat. You can see them up there playing around. Got a big old skylight for them. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. This was also right around the time when the billboards came out. So you're gonna see in the back part of the zoo, you're gonna see the billboards being used quite a lot, because that's just when we were working. That's where we were in the zoo when the billboards came out. So that's why in the front of the zoo, you like don't see any of the billboards. There's the Monorail Station again. It's actually the same one over in Bear Claw Canyon. Just decided to use it again because I thought it looked really cool. So we'll head out this way. We'll go up these stairs. So up here are the orangutans. This is also how you get to the Monorail Station. So whether you're getting on the monorail or getting off, you'll come out in this little area here. We got another little mini dome here. But there you go. You can see our orangutan habitat sign. Yeah, and here's our, this is the habitat. I really like the ceiling. I love the supported ceiling there. I think it looks really cool. You can see more billboards, and oh, we got some missing images there. Not sure how that happened. One thing that kind of disappointed me is like I built this really cool custom climbing structure and they don't really use it, even though the orangutans have a climbing requirement that you have to fulfill. They don't really climb too much. So I actually reused that for the chimpanzee habitat, which we're going to go see right now. There you can see the monorail track again, using the custom supports that we made. You can see as it goes off in the distance, the custom supports stop because, you know, guests aren't ever going to be back there other than if when they're on the monorail, and they can't see the supports when they're on the monorail. So no big deal. This is actually one of my favorite buildings in the zoo. I wanted to do the like red brick because we haven't actually used it at all in the zoo. And even though it doesn't fit with the like kind of rustic theme we were going for, we did come up with a backstory for this building. And we actually have a little bit of lore in the zoo, believe it or not, which we will talk about as we kind of get through the rest of the zoo. But yeah, so here's the indoor area. These are the chimpanzees. And this is the same structure, climbing structure that we had in the orangutan habitat. You can see it's actually getting used here. So that makes me a lot happier because I thought it was pretty cool custom climbing structure. So we got some conservation boards and just some like kind of detailing around this spot. And as we head over again, we've got another food court. Went really heavy with the Africa theme, not the Africa DLC. That wasn't out yet when we did this, just the base game Africa theme. And then as you can see there, we got bonobos up here. We've got like a fun little viewing spot here, kind of like their little house. We got somebody sleeping in there right now. And then I like this because the path actually goes over top of the habitat, but then part of the habitat goes over the path. So the bonobos can climb up this and go around it without escaping. Like they can't escape. It's too high for them to jump down. So just adds a little extra added kind of immersion, I guess. Yeah, see? Yeah, so this building, we decided maybe was an old kind of textile plant. So I kind of did a little bit of trickery with the letters to try to make it look like it was like faded paint. Let's see if we can get like a better... Sometimes it looks a little bit better from different angles. But you can kind of see it almost looks like it's faded. I tried the best I can with, you know, what we're able to do in the game. Then here, this is like just like a little gravel patio area. Made these custom heaters, which I keep saying I'm going to put them on the workshop, and I keep forgetting. Maybe I'll do that soon. Maybe I'll do that after I record this. We'll see. And I'll go check out the workshop and see if they're on there. Hold me accountable if they're not. And then over here we have the Capuchin Monkey Habitat. This was actually the very last habitat we made for the zoo. Again, it's another walkthrough habitat. And it's a round building, which, like I said earlier, are just a lot of fun to do. You get like cool effects with the pieces and stuff like that. But went heavy with the South America kind of tropical theme. And I love the idea. We've got like the big climbing structure in the middle. And then we've got like all these little offshoots that kind of go off to the side. They're very loud too. Yeah, this was the very last habitat we made in Aurora Zoo. It's kind of special in that way, I feel like. Hey, can you not stand by the door? You're gonna let the monkeys out. Yeah, so we've got this like great triple-sided sign here for them. That the weathered wood pieces you see there are actually from the Africa DLC. One of the few that had come out right before we finished this up. So that's like one of the few things from the Africa DLC that's in Aurora Zoo. Then here, this is the gorilla house. And what I think is really cool about this is you walk in and you actually go under the habitat. And of course, there are no gorillas around at this time, but they can actually go across the glass. They actually prefer to use those beams right there. So as you're walking in, sometimes you can see them running across, but I don't know. I just thought that was unique and kind of different. So then you head back up and you've got a couple places you can view the gorillas. So if we head out over here, oh, there we go. There's mom and some babies. You can see the billboards again in the back there. And then we go over this way and we got some more spots here. Of course, we're not going to see them because they're on the other side. And there you can see the billboards again. Went really heavy with the billboards in this building. And then over this way is the Rainforest Cafe. We also made these like little faux windows here. Again, using the billboards to try to make it feel like you're looking outside to like a big tropical rainforest, which I just thought was kind of neat. So this building is massive, and it took like 3 weeks of streaming to complete it. You know, oh, we got some busted tables again. I stream, you know, 4 days a week, typically about 4 hours per stream. And towards the end of Aurora Zoo, I was streaming Planet Zoo all 4 days because we were trying to wrap up the zoo. And this building took like 3 weeks of streaming 4 days a week. So it's a massive building. That's a really cool view coming out of the gorilla habitat, I feel like. I think that's pretty cool. We're heading back down this way. So before we came from over there, that's the textile building. So we're going to head out over this way, and this is going to actually be the Lemur Habitat and final habitat of the primates. This is also a walkthrough habitat. I really like this one because I like the hanging platforms that I made. I was trying to do something a little bit different. So decided to do, all right, we'll have them hang from the building. Same with like the vines here. You can see they're hanging from the ceiling as well. We've got some ropes there. Also in here, instead of doing the billboards, see if we can get a better view. Hello, Mr. Lemur. We just did a giant glass window so you can see outside. And again, I just think it's cool. You see like the tropical setting of the habitat, and then outside you see like all the snow-covered trees and everything. It's pretty cool, I think. Yeah, we do have both lemurs in here, the ring-tailed and red-ruffed. So it's a fun habitat. And then again, we've got another little guest area. This time we just have some vending machines and just some tables for them to kind of hang out, sit down. And then we head outside. And that's the primates area. So as we kind of come around this way, you can see where we are now. See? So earlier we went down that way. We came from over here from the aquarium. So we'll head back this way, and we're going to go back across the bridge and check out Bear Claw Canyon. All right, so we're back across the bridge. We're in Bear Claw Canyon. There's the monorail and the donut shop. So we're going to check out the giant panda dome made by Spring Blossom. We actually ran a contest in our Discord for our community to make a habitat for Bear Claw Canyon, and Spring Blossoms was the one that we put in. She did an excellent job. Again, it's another dome, so you got like the really cool effect with like the ceiling and everything. I love the hanging lanterns in the middle. It's a really good build. And one of the things I wanted to do, I tried to make, especially the back of the zoo, I tried to make the areas a little bit different than the front. So like Bear Claw Canyon here, and even the primates a little bit, I wanted to make it like a really rocky, kind of uneven terrain area. So the paths kind of like bridge over the terrain, just because it's like the idea was that the terrain is too uneven to have a path go across the ground. So we actually had to bridge it across, and it just added a little extra bit of detail, made it look a little bit different than the rest of the zoo. So there you can see the monorail track again using the custom supports. There we've got a sign there to let you know, oh, black bears are up there. But we're gonna actually head out over here. So here's like another like gravel patio area, just a spot where guests can come in and kind of sit down and warm themselves with the heaters there. But we actually haven't had a chance to see inside this monorail station. Again, this is on the Steam Workshop, this building, so if you want to get this and put it in your own zoo, you could do that. But we've got like some vending machines and an ATM and a place for guests to kind of sit down and relax. Then we've got the monorail there as well. We're going to head out back this direction towards this giant red building. If you don't know what it is, you're probably wondering what it is. This is the Aurora Zoo Mine. It's actually an abandoned mine. This is kind of where the lore I was talking about comes into play. So this is actually, the idea we came up with was that these mines were here a long time ago. They were abandoned. Somebody bought the property and the land and turned it into a zoo. So as we walk in, it kind of has that like mine feeling, like you're underground. It got rocks everywhere. Again, another little food court area here. I love the low ceilings too. Kind of sells the idea that you're in like a mine. So you can come over here. We've got this big old area with the waterfall because we love our waterfalls. But we're actually underneath the buildings, and this is the black bear habitat. And kind of we were like, all right, you know, they kind of kept the shell of the buildings, hollowed out the interior and turned it into a habitat. So that's why we've got the black bears in here, and they got lots of babies. And like you can head out over this way. This is the little staff area. You can imagine down there is like the old abandoned mine shaft. It's been all boarded up, closed off, but this is just the staff area there. They maintain the black bear habitat. So we're headed back out of the mines, and there again you can see, I don't know if you guys saw, but the monorail goes through the black bear habitat, and we've just got some like details on the building itself. This was another massive build because you can see these red planks. Those are all individual red planks. They're the painted planks. To achieve the effect I wanted, it required to use those. So there's, I think, on a 4x4 wall piece, I think there's like 16 planks. So you can imagine like there's several thousand of those planks. But then this is like another little area the guests can come and watch the black bears if they want to. Sometimes they like to hang out over here. You can't really see the rest of the habitat, but they do like to hang out there. And there's the monorail. It goes on through. Then you head back outside. Then you can see more of this mine, the building. I actually used a real life mine as a reference. I remember it's called the Kennecott Mines in Alaska. Those are also old and abandoned. There's the defroster again. Then we've got another little custom sign there. We've got a big old building here with the Himalayan brown bear and grizzly bears. So we've got a little bridge here. It goes over a little stream, a little frozen stream. And you can see heavy use of the billboards here. I think that update came right as we were making this building. So this building has tons of billboards everywhere. You can see even like around the door there, over on the sides. I love the like foggy forest up there, kind of like a little mural. And then you can come over here and we've got both habitats on either side. So we've got the Himalayan brown bear here. You can see again the billboards in the back. And it was a cool way to add some depth to the habitats, make them feel a little bit bigger, feel like maybe there's, you know, an actual big forest there. And oh my God, the babies. Oh, look how many why are there so many babies? Crying out loud. Bears, stop. So we head back out of the habitat. There you can see the Aurora Mine sign there on the building. We figured, you know what? That's where Aurora Zoo got its name. The mines, they were called Aurora Mines. So that's where the zoo got its name from. Back this way is actually a second entrance. The zoo, I noticed that guests were having a hard time reaching this part of the zoo because this is like the very back. So I was like, you know what? Let's put another entrance back there. So I made another parking lot. It's a little bit smaller, and another guest spawner and zoo entrance. And it really helped like just fill out the whole zoo with guests and make sure, you know, the whole zoo looks like it's getting used and all that good stuff. And then we head over here and we have these sun bears. They have a really nice little habitat. Again, we got some heaters, we got some conservation boards out here, so guests can kind of read up on this stuff while warming up at the same time. So yeah, let's go check out the sun bears. So you walk in, you've got another giant habitat here. I love the big old tree right in the middle there. And then we got just lots of fun stuff for the bears to climb on. We got like glass walls here, so guests can kind of see a little bit more, depending on if the bears want to come over that way. Oh, there they are. I was wondering where they are. They're over there climbing around. They do like to climb. This habitat's like very big and very open. We've got the glass wall pieces and then the big old glass ceiling there, so lets in like lots of natural light. And we head back out over this way. I haven't really shown many of the, or actually I don't think I've shown any staff areas, because we're doing a tour like we are a guest in the zoo, and it was very intentional to kind of hide the staff areas away from the guests. This is probably one of the better views. That building right there also is on the Steam Workshop. It's a staff building. It's got pretty much all of them except for the research and workshop, because when you're in Sandbox, you don't need those. So we head back around this way, and we kind of come around the other side of the giant panda dome. So there's the that's the giant panda dome. We went up those stairs, which goes across the other way. And yeah, that was Bear Claw Canyon. So we're gonna go ahead and exit this area, walk back a little bit towards the front of the zoo, but we're not gonna go to the very front of the zoo. We're gonna actually make a right here. So there's the conservatory, that's the red pandas, and we're gonna go up this way. This is gonna actually take us to phase 1 of the aquatic area. But first, before we get up there, this building right here, this is our Hall of Subs. I don't know what these people are looking at. What are they looking at? The Hall of Subs on my Twitch channel. I like to recognize the people who sub to my Twitch channel by giving them their own nameplates. You can see these are all names of people who have subscribed to my channel, my Twitch channel. We actually had to make an extension, so this kind of back room is a little bit newer because we ran out of space. So we've got all these names here, and then comes out this way, and this is Bear Claw Canyon, so that's the monorail station. So it's kind of why I showed this bit a little bit later. But yeah, that's our Hall of Subs. So we'll definitely be doing something like this in our follow-up zoo. So if you're interested, you want your name on a nameplate, this zoo is up on the workshop, so you will be forever immortalized in the zoo. And then here we have an ice skating rink. I decided to call it Spring Blossoms because it was her idea. It's the same Spring Blossom who made the giant panda dome, but we made like a little faux ice skating rink. Obviously there's no ice skating in the game, so you just have to imagine it. But as a way to get the guests to actually use the building, we put like a bathroom and food and drink here, but also made like a little rental counter, which I thought was a lot of fun. Made some custom skates. I'll let you guess what they are made of. We got like a little seating area here where the guests can sit down and take their skates off or put them on, whatever. Got some fake tables. It's too bad that these aren't usable. It'd be cool if you could make your own like seating. Yeah, then you rent your skates and you come out here and you skate around, and it's just like a fun little, it was a fun little side project to do, to just add a little bit of extra detail to the whole zoo, make it feel more used, I guess. We've got like a nice tree there with some string lights going across. This ice skating rink is also on my Steam Workshop, so if you're interested and you want to put this in your zoo, make sure to check it out. So we head out this way, and we're going to go over here. We've got Crocodile Cove. So we have another round building, but we have the saltwater crocodiles and the gharials. So this is the saltwater crocodile over here. And then over here are the gharials. And when they came out with or added the deep waters like swimming mechanic, the saltwater crocodile was the first base game animal where they added that feature. And I thought about redoing the habitat to make the water deep enough for them to actually swim. Then I was like, I'm just gonna leave it the way it is. We'll make use of that in the next zoo probably. But then the guests head out this way. Here's another little staff area. I decided to make this look like a log cabin. So we've got like the little garage there. Just a little building. We've got some staff stuff going on right there. And then this is our giant hippo building. So we have both hippos in here. And the monorail also goes through. So there they are. Oh, they got a little baby hippo. Yeah, these guys require a gigantic habitat, but this one was cool to do. I love this spot right here because the hippos actually do come over here and use this like kind of rock area that I made, so it lets the guests get a little bit closer to the hippos than maybe they would normally. But I think what really stands out about this, at least to me, is I like this little underwater viewing area here. It's really unique. I feel the way it's like kind of curved, and then the path curves like the opposite way, and then you have like these stairs that come down here. It was a little challenging to kind of figure out the logistics of making this spot because it's just really, I almost want to say like awkward design. But it ended up working out really well, and I think it looks super cool. Then as we keep going, then over here, we've got the Pygmy Hippos. So they have a smaller habitat here. And again, we've got another little food court here. Got some pizza, another restroom there. And, oh, there we go. And he's pooping. Perfect timing. Yeah, so this is the Pygmy Hippo habitat. And you can't see it because it's behind the wall back there, but this building has its own staff center. So we have all of the staff buildings that you would need to take care of both habitats. And they primarily just take care of these hippos. They also take care of the Nile Monitor, which we have over here. So we walk around. So there's the building. You can see we've got a big old sign there. It just says hippos. We've got a statue. You walk around this way, and this is actually one of the only outdoor kind of food area in the whole zoo. It is covered, but it is the only outdoor one. But we have the Nile Monitors tucked away back here. They don't require a lot of space, so they've got a pretty small habitat. I also really like the low ceilings in here. Yeah, we've got the Nile Monitors here, and they've just got like a, they're pretty simple animals. They don't require much, so it's a nice little habitat. But it's kind of, like I said, kind of tucked away. You may need a map to find it if you don't know where it is. I also really like it how the path kind of curves around in a circle, and then in the middle we've got this big old like clock tower building here. We've got an information center in the middle. So like I was saying, you might need a map. Well, you could buy one right there. Then here's a simple monorail building. There isn't anything else in here other than just the queue for the monorail. So we head over this way, and this is going to take us to phase B of the aquatic area. This is the monorail track up here. I really love this custom bridge. Especially, I like that it's at an angle. It also slightly curves at the start of the bridge. So like right there, it's curved a little bit and then kind of comes across there. But I use the temple block pieces from the South America pack. And they're actually pretty versatile pieces. You know, when I look at this, I don't think like South America tropical or anything. So really happy with that bridge. So yeah, we head out over this way. And the reason this is phase B is because we actually had this whole aquatic area back there before the aquatic pack came out. And then when that pack came out, I was like, well, we need to expand the area. So it's actually the largest area of the entire zoo, just for that reason. But you can see with the sign there, we've got giant otters in that building. We've got the Dwarf Cayman there. And then this big building is the seals. So we'll check out the Dwarf Cayman first. We'll head out up this way. Did a little bit of custom flooring there with the faux rocks. We also have some exhibits in here because we don't have many exhibits throughout the zoo. So this was a good opportunity. Also with the terrapin here, which was added as part of the aquatic pack. So I was like, well, we have to showcase them as well. So that's what we have there. This is the Dwarf Cayman habitat. They got a nice little area there. We've also got a underwater feeding, or not underwater feeding, but an underwater viewing area down here. So we can see we've already got some guests down here, and there's a guy swimming over there off in the distance. So yeah, nice little viewing area here. All right, and then we'll do the seals last because they have the bigger habitat. So this building here is the giant otters. So we'll walk in. I don't know why I like it so much, but this building kind of reminds me of like a big, almost like storage warehouse. Like this building could be like repurposed for either maybe another animal, or they could just take out this habitat altogether and make an entirely new habitat. It's almost like, you know, the building is just a building and they could do whatever they want. If they need to move the otters, they could do that. But for right now, this is the otter habitat. Up there, you saw we had a above water viewing area with a animal talks. And then, of course, watching them swim is always way more fun. The guests are liking it. They're cheering them on. Yeah, the otters are a lot of fun, aren't they? They just look like they have so much fun when they're swimming. Yeah, so that's the giant otter habitat, and then we'll head back out to the seals. This is actually one of my favorite habitats in the whole zoo. And again, it's another really large building. So we've got either over there, we've got the underwater tunnel, which we'll look at here in a minute. And then over this way, we've got like just a regular viewing spot. I made like this little fake kind of stadium seating here. The first seat is usable technically. I did hide some benches down there, but it would be cool if the guests could use the rest of them. But the idea was kind of like, you know, we've got an animal talks here, so you know the guests would sit there while the educator would be kind of talking about the seals. So we got like a big old habitat here. Of course, all the seals, just like real life at the zoo, the animals are always like the farthest spot from where you can see them. But the cool thing about that, so we head back around this way. These guys look like they're stuck, so that's cool. We've got the underwater tunnel. And it is actually underwater, and it is actually usable. The guests can walk under here, and it's just super cool, right? So as the seals are swimming around, like there's a guy right there, and there's no one, they're kind of swimming around. So it's just a cool way to, you know, obviously this is like kind of a hack almost, if you will, to be able to make underwater tunnels and things, but it is doable. You can do it. But that's why that's one of my favorite spots. So then we head back around this way, and this is going to take us back to the large cat area, kind of also back to the front of the zoo. So here's the another defroster. We've got some coffee in there. Also, one of the last additions to the zoo is we made some billboards using the billboard pieces. So what I did here, the zoo we made prior to Aurora Zoo was Wildlife World. And so I just took a screenshot from that. Some of you might remember Jungle Gym there, and just kind of, I made it in Photoshop, imported it into the game, and bam, got a billboard advertising another zoo. And then this big building here, this is the Boomerang, also on my Steam Workshop. This was made around the time the Australia Pack DLC came out. It was kind of a weird transition between Wildlife World and Aurora Zoo for the Australia Pack, because we had just finished Wildlife World and we didn't have a chance to use this pack in that zoo. So this was a way to incorporate that DLC into the zoo. But this is the kangaroo and koalas there, sharing the habitat, though I did try to make each side kind of more detailed to each animal. So this is like the kangaroo side, and then over here is the koala side, because we've got like some climbing stuff for them. But it actually seems like both animals prefer this side more. But then we also have an exhibit here right in the middle. And then as we head out, so this is the kind of the entrance to the Boomerang there. Then here is another monorail station, themed a little bit more towards the Australia Pack. Again, I wanted to showcase that pack because I didn't get a chance to in Wildlife World. But there are no food or drink shops or bathrooms in here. This is just for the monorail. Then we head out across the river here. And I took if you remember the bridge at the very front of the zoo, around the parking lot, it had the same kind of design on the sides here with the railing. So I took that same idea and used it for this guest bridge. Then here's another defroster. This was actually the first one we put in the zoo. And it was at that point we were like, oh, you know what? We should add these throughout the zoo as a way to have a place for the guests to be able to warm up if they need it. But yeah, this is the large cats. So we've got 4 habitats here. This is the lion. So there we've got the lions. You can see the big boy chilling over there with a little bit more of a more modern roof, but I do like it. I think it's pretty neat. We head over here. We have the jaguars. What I like about this building is the outside has that log cabin vibe to it, right? But then you go inside, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, South America, tropical, it's green. I just thought that was really cool. Yeah, this is the Jaguar Habitat. We do have a black jaguar in here somewhere, running around. Might be down there sleeping. They do like to sleep a lot. I guess cats like to sleep in general, so kind of makes sense. Oh, I see him way down there. Again, just like a real zoo, the animals never kind of show up when you want them to. There's our other jaguar right there. Looked like he was playing with the box. So we'll head back out this way. Oh, we got another downed trash bin. You know, this was the first area of the zoo we worked on. And one of the things I wanted to do with Aurora Zoo was have a lot of varied elevation. Wildlife World was very flat. This is one thing I wish I had done better with that zoo. So with Aurora Zoo, it was definitely intentional to, add some different elevations and, like bridges and things like that. And I think it worked out pretty well. So we head back out this way. So this is the Bengal Tiger Habitat. We looked at that earlier. And then here, this is our cheetah building. This building also on my Steam Workshop. But this one is pretty cool because you have a few places to watch the cheetahs. So you can come down here. You've got like a ground level view, or you can go up the stairs, and we've got a really cool path that kind of curves around, goes over top of the habitat. We also have the monorail comes through here. This was kind of the first time we came up with the idea of making the monorail go through habitats. So this was the first one that we did that with. And then as we kind of went throughout the zoo, we're like, all right, do we want this habitat to have the monorail go through it or no? And so, oh, there's a cheetah down there. So yeah, we've got, you know, like I said, a handful of the habitats do have the monorail going right through it. Over this way, there's nothing back here, but this takes us back to the Christmas shop. So this is kind of like takes us back around. So that's the Christmas shop right there. It's like the back side of it. We also made this, it's not like functional, but a little staff area, like a little boathouse kind of thing here. You know, because there's some rivers, so you never know. The staff may need to get in on a boat and maybe, I mean, maybe somebody fell in, or maybe somebody dropped like their phone, or I don't know, whatever. So somebody on staff needs to get the boat and go out on the river and do whatever they need to do. But yeah, so that was our walkthrough tour of Aurora Zoo. And, you know, like I said, this zoo is now on the Steam Workshop. If you do check it out, I would be highly appreciative if you could give it a positive rating, a thumbs up, because that helps the whole like algorithm on Steam and gives it a star rating and all that good stuff. But yeah, this zoo, 10 months or so, give or take, 600 plus hours. It took us a while to get it, but I love this zoo. It's, you know, it's a labor of love, not only of me, but our community. Because I would say 80% of this zoo was built live on stream with our community, you know, suggestions, taking suggestions live and talking with all of you. It makes the whole process so much fun. Like I said earlier, if you, you know, want to be part of that with our follow-up zoo, which, like I said, depending on when you're watching this, either is about to start or has already started. And we would love to have you join us. Like I said, my Twitch channel link is in the description below. So here's our parking lot. We've got another billboard over there. Again, one of the last additions to the zoo. And yeah, this is Aurora Zoo. I hope you guys enjoyed the tour. Did you like it? We did this with Wildlife World, and I guess people liked it because that video blew up. It has like over 100,000 views, which is nuts. I don't expect this video to do that kind of, get those kinds of numbers, but hopefully you will still enjoy this video. It's always fun to do them. And we'll have another one when our next zoo, our follow-up zoo, is complete. But that's probably not going to be for like a year, because so far it's taken almost a year per zoo. So we'll see what happens in 2022. But so yeah, I'm gonna leave this here. I hope you guys enjoyed the tour, like I said, and be on the lookout for videos for our follow-up zoo, which, like I said, either will be starting soon or have already started. So with that, be sure to leave your comments, suggestions, and feedback down below. I am 8-Bit Josh, and thanks for watching. See ya.